In the past few weeks, I've shared here on the channel the story of Franklin and Michael within GTA 5, sharing details about their past that, man, a lot of people don't know. In today's video, we're going to uncover a lot about Trevor's story, how Trevor grew up, how he met Michael, among many other things, about his brother and his mother as well, who have a lot hidden in there. So if you enjoyed the previous videos, go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit it to hype up this video because it really helps this video grow and reach a lot of people. Having said that, let's get started. 2. Trevor basically didn't choose to become a monster, which is what we see in GTA 5. He was raised almost in a lab by violence and the circumstances around him. Trevor's story isn't sad. Actually, it is sad, but it's not just sad. It's almost sickening. Trevor is the portrait of a child who never had the chance to be a normal adult.
Fuck! I had a difficult childhood.
Trevor was born and raised in circumstances that no human being should go through. His father, or at least the man he believed to be his real father, was a violent, alcoholic, explosive, and unpredictable man.
Tough upbringing. My daddy was not nice to me. My father, my actual father, the one I think was my father, he was not a nice man.
One day, his father took him to the mall and simply abandoned Trevor in the middle of the mall and disappeared. This memory haunted Trevor so much that years later, he returned to that mall and set it on fire in a clear attempt to erase the trauma that memory caused him.
Daddy left me at a shopping mall and never came back, so I burnt it to the ground!
After his father abandoned him for good, he spent his childhood with his mother, where he lived in 5 different states, 2 countries, 14 different houses, with 8 father figures, who could be stepfathers or, I don't know, coming in and out of his life, 3 foster homes and 2 correctional facilities.
Listen, I grew up in 5 states, 2 countries, 14 different homes, 8 fathers, 3 care homes, 2 correctional facilities, 1 beautiful.
This moment is so traumatic that it defines Trevor's entire psyche, and he remembers it in detail. Trevor's mother was abusive, manipulative, cruel, and extremely aggressive. She treated Trevor like trash, humiliated him, yelled at him, blamed him, belittled him, and provoked emotional crises in him. She acted this way to control Trevor through guilt, keeping him doing everything she wanted without questioning. This makes Trevor a boy obsessed with his mother, seeking her approval at all costs.
Now look at you. You always were. An ungrateful, wretched, sniveling sack of shit of a boy. You know it, and I know it. There was always something wrong with you. Oh, that's enough! Here I am.
Trevor's mother worked as a prostitute to make money to take care of her children and feed her drug addiction.
Is that what you think I am?
His obsession with her, combined with her work as a prostitute, was probably one of the things that triggered rage in Trevor's mind.
My mother was very complicated. Is very complicated. Well, I had a very complicated upbringing. Extremely complicated. In many ways, I was deprived of some pretty basic things, but I don't complain.
Because even though his mother worked as a prostitute, he didn't want anyone to say that about her, so whenever someone insulted his mother, he would lose his mind and explode in a fit of rage.
No, I'm not a motherfucker!
Yeah, you motherfucker, you.
What?
I'm talking to you, motherfucker. Who else you think I'm talking to, homeboy?
I'm getting bored of this.
What?
It's not legally fucking if you do not penetrate.
Trevor! I'm talking to you, motherfucker!
Trevor grew up surrounded by extreme instability and psychological abuse, which left him with abandonment traumas and a need for real love, which largely explains his devotion to loyalty.
Now look, Deborah, I love you and I love you too, Floyd. Why can't we all just be together, huh?
I got a fucking family!
Yeah, well, I got nothing! No one gives a fuck about me! Ah! Oh, I love you! Oh, let me take you away from all of this! Sorry, everyone I love, abandons me.
Since he was young, Trevor always dreamed of being a big-time drug dealer. Maybe this meant freedom to him, or maybe just a way to cause destruction in people.
This is my life's work. I mean, since I was a little kid, I dreamt big. You know, I've always wanted to be an international drug dealer.
At some point in his childhood, Trevor was sexually abused by a clown, something impossible to forget, and that left him scarred into adulthood with a fear of clowns.
How many of you sex offenders are there? But you know what? I hate clowns. They scare me. I scare myself.
Trevor also had a brother named Ryan who died in an accident when they were younger. Trevor says he had nothing to do with the accident, but the way he talks about it leaves a doubt in the air, especially because he implies that it was a good thing.
My brother!
Hey,
No, no,
What the
no!
hell do you think you're doing?
You remind me of my brother!
You for real?
Ryan!
I don't
after he was
believe this.
dead.
I'm sorry about that.
No, don't be sorry. I'm glad he was dead.
Gradually, Trevor began to do things that, even at a young age, showed that he was already broken inside. He tortured and mutilated animals and talked about it as if it were just the beginning. He really wanted to destroy those at the top of the food chain, in this case humans.
You ain't never clapped nobody before?
Not really. Some deer, foxes, drifters. Nothing serious.
At some point in school, he assaulted his hockey teacher with a stick, shoving a stick up his butt. At another point in school, he strangled a musician with his own clarinet. I believe it was at school, but it may not have been. These school incidents led to his expulsion, or maybe he left prematurely on his own.
Sounds like someone strangling a clarinet player, and I talk from experience.
This left him with various reading and writing problems, as well as several gaps in general knowledge of human history.
You know, we ain't come that far from when the Romans were in control of this country, gladiators and such.
The Romans, bro? I don't think so.
You don't think the wars and the political dynasties and stupid games on TV, you don't think those methods of control are any different from the ones that the Roman emperors were using to control the citizens?
That's all good. It's just you said Romans controlled this country. But that was in Italy.
What? Sure, yeah!
Despite the lack of education, Trevor had a brilliant mind, able to make complex mathematical calculations in seconds.
A little over 2 tons a pallet.
Yeah? So what's that worth?
Gold's trading at around 1,700 to 2,000 an ounce. 35 ounces a kilo, give or take. 1,000 kilos a ton, so that's
$200 million or thereabout.
But math wasn't the only skill of Trevor. At another moment in his childhood, he was a golf player and even became the Canadian champion in the under-18 category. He almost became a professional player, but he either quit golf or was expelled from it. And that's where his true calling came in. He joined the Canadian Army Air Force to become a fighter pilot. In the air, he felt like he could cause the havoc he was born to cause in humanity, basically.
Right. So, this kid, he could fly planes. So, he signed up for the Air Force to fly all day long and bomb villages and maybe, just maybe, drop the nuke.
However, when he was close to getting his license, everything goes downhill when he undergoes a psychological evaluation, where he is classified as unstable and condemned to never be able to pilot a plane for the Canadian Air Force again.
And it was all going well until one day, just before he got his wings, an evil witch in charge of psychological evaluations told him he was unstable and grounded him for life.
That's terrible!
It was! Sent him into a deep pit of doubt and despair.
And this point is crucial in Trevor's life. Here was born a deep and instinctive anger that defined his next steps. After losing aviation and leaving the army, Trevor becomes a violent nomad, going from gas station to gas station, killing as if he were truly a serial killer. Wherever he went, hitchhikers disappeared, and he implicitly claims to have committed cannibalism.
Get over here. I don't bite.
That ain't what I heard. All cannibalistic and shit.
Frank, what you been telling him?
I say what I see, homie. You dig on man meat.
Kill strangers, protect friends, eat enemies.
At some point, under the influence of having sniffed too much gasoline, he had a near-death experience by sticking an axe into a high-voltage wire and being electrocuted. He claims that he was possibly dead or just unconscious for 5 minutes. In his adult life, Trevor starts working with loading and transporting air cargo in North Yankton. In one of these jobs, while he was waiting to meet the man who had hired him, he notices 2 cars coming towards him instead of 1, as he had been told. From the first car comes Michael Townley, and Trevor likes him, almost as if it were love at first sight. From the second car comes a man pointing Michael as a criminal. The man runs towards Trevor, and Trevor shoots him with the flare gun right in the eye, burning his brain and leaving a horrible smell. Michael helps Trevor throw the still burning body into a nearby lake, and the smell sticks inside the plane, making both of them vomit after landing. And from that moment, a friendship and partnership that would last for years was born.
I was running this small air freight outfit in North Yankton. A tiny operation. This one Beagle I could borrow when I needed it. We were kids.
Kids with planes.
So, this guy I know says there's this other guy needs some hot cargo moved across the border. Money's good, and I don't know enough to check references, so I'm in. A few days later, I'm waiting on the runway. I see this dust coming up off the road, only it ain't one dust trail, it's 2.
I got told one guy in cargo. First car comes through the gate, stops, someone comes out. It's my age, just 20, kind of fat but strong underneath.
Love at first sight.
Yeah, something like that. Other car comes through the gate. Old guy falls out, starts yelling and waving his arms and pointing at the kid.
The dude that got jacked?
Who fucking knows? Fat guy's running, old guy's shouting. I don't really care, I play peacemaker. Concerned citizen. I get close to the old guy and I pull out this flare gun I'm carrying around, squeeze the thing off in his eye.
Shit.
It was horrible. We had to pick up the body and dump it in a lake on the way. Thing was still burning in his head when we dropped him. Plane never smelt the same. Both of us threw up when we landed. It was quite a baptism.
At this point, Wondy Michael was already practicing robberies frequently, including with Lester. Since he liked Trevor and saw potential in him, he starts inviting Trevor to join him in some heists, and that's how Trevor discovers another skill: stealing.
Michael didn't have the nerve back then. I didn't have the direction. Kinda worked.
However, Trevor was impulsive and didn't exactly plan how he would do things. The way for this to work is for him to be part of a team. While one would have more intelligence and planning, the other would have more brute strength and aggressiveness.
Sometimes he'd go into town and rob the shops and inns and such. And he persuaded our hero that maybe he should rob people too. And you know what? Little Trisha did rob people. And little Trisha was good at it.
At some point, Trevor will commit a robbery alone at a place where he was known, and one of the employees recognizes him, leading to his arrest for 4 months.
That Chex Cash place? I went in, took him for 8 grand, walked out.
It was a bit more complicated than that, though, wasn't it, T?
Maybe I knew the guy. Maybe he ID'd me.
Maybe you did 6 months.
Maybe I was out in 4, and that, children, is why we don't leave witnesses.
That, children, is why you don't rob people that you know!
After getting out of prison, he and Michael start practicing various robberies and thefts throughout the Midwest, with Trevor describing this as a significant breakthrough. After some time working together, they become extremely wanted criminals. The police knew they were the same criminals because of the classic lines from Solomon Richards' movies that Michael would quote, and Trevor's modus operandi that left several brutally unnecessary deaths.
We'd do a job, and he'd want to leave town right away. We could never make friends or contacts anywhere.
He'd kill someone in broad daylight and we'd have to jump town.
This starts making Michael more apprehensive, avoiding any contact with the city to make it harder for them to be tracked after the heists and getaways. Trevor, on the other hand, didn't agree with this. He wanted to take advantage of wherever they were, but Michael didn't. Despite their different viewpoints, everything still worked well. Michael was the family Trevor sought, but this starts to change in the late 80s and early 90s when Michael falls in love with a stripper named Amanda, marries her, and has 2 children. With this new responsibility in Michael's life, he starts seeing Trevor as a secondary option, prioritizing giving a better future to his wife and children. This makes Michael more apprehensive, planner, more cautious in the heist. Trevor, on the other hand, sees this as a weakness, and the worst of all traumas, Trevor's abandonment issues start to show with the fear that Michael might abandon him.
And they lived happily ever after? For a while. Until the troll met another troll in a strip club, and they fell in lust, and he bought her a pair of fake troll tits, even bigger than his real troll tits, so she could make more money stripping. Maybe a little on the side without call work, but you didn't hear that from me. Wow. And then she pushed out a pair of little trolls, and the big bad troll under the bridge went soft.
28. Despite all the traumas, Trevor falls in love with the children, Michael's sons.
Dad and Trevor?
2 dads. Great.
Wow.
Very San Andreas.
What are you guys doing here?
And he starts taking care of them as if he were an uncle, even promising to kill anyone who acted inappropriately towards his little niece Tracy.
Oh, yeah? Well, that little girl sat on my lap when she was 2 years old, and I swore to God that I would rip the fucking skin off anyone who fucking wronged her.
However, even so, he realized that Michael was becoming more and more distant. Trevor then, to solve this problem, looks for a new partner to fill the void that Michael was leaving. That's when he brings Brad Snyder to the team. Michael and Lester didn't like the idea very much, but still accepted, even considering that he wasn't really part of the team. Brad was as unstable as Trevor, and he noticed that Michael was also softening, even suggesting to Trevor that they leave Michael behind and start acting on their own. But Trevor's loyalty to Michael was too great, so he refused.
Oh, little Trevor made a new friend called Brad, and he was thinking about cutting Mike off.
In 2004, a new heist twist arises, something a bit bigger. Lester wasn't involved in this heist, and it was a small bank in North Yankton. The heist goes wrong, the driver dies, they crash the car, and Trevor suggests they circle back after this accident to get to the meeting point. But Michael insists they drive through the middle of town. As they pass through the location comes the final betrayal from Michael. Brad takes a bullet and dies. Michael takes a bullet and pretends to die. Trevor stays to fight, but faced with the slightest chance of success, he also flees. Through the news, Trevor finds out that his longtime partner, Michael Townley, has died and that Brad Snyder has been imprisoned in a maximum security prison. In just one heist, Trevor lost everything he fought to keep. Devastated and lost, he flees from city to city, robbing liquor stores and disappearing with hitchhikers.
So you keep up with the old crew?
Well, after your death/disappearance, there wasn't much holding us together.
Yeah. You see him at all? After the incident?
I kept tabs on him for a while, needed to, know that he didn't blame me.
Yeah, where'd he go?
North, south, east, west, wherever there were liquor stores to turn over and hitchhikers to disappear.
After years wandering aimlessly, he goes to Blaine County to start over, and in that place he meets Ron, a paranoid ex-accountant that Trevor destroyed his marriage by threatening his wife with dismemberment and making Ron believe that his wife was cheating on him. This was all part of Trevor's plan to bring Ron to his side and control him, because from what he had seen with Michael, if Ron paid more attention to his wife than to Trevor, things would eventually go wrong and Trevor would be left alone. With the separation working and Ron getting a divorce, Ron moves into a trailer next to Trevor's trailer and starts working for him in all kinds of crime.
My ex-wife called me again.
Man, there is nothing worse in this world than an ex-wife. Perpetual reminder of life's mistakes.
A dreadful mistake. She's thinking of suing me again.
For what? You live in a trailer.
She heard my radio show.
If she heard your radio show, she should pity you, not sue you.
That's nice, Trevor.
No, Ron. It's not. It's unkind, but it's also true. Your ex-wife was a bitch. I did you the favor of a lifetime when I scared her off.
You did. You really did.
If after 12 years of happy marriage, one simple threat of dismemberment was enough to send her running, well, I don't know. And she was having an affair. We proved that.
You're right, Trevor. She wasn't committed enough.
Exactly, Ron. Now get back to fucking work, all right? What are you yabbing at me for?
Alongside this, Trevor also meets another man who would also be a partner in business, Chef. He knew that Chef was a good cook, however. Trevor wanted to see if he could handle himself, so he calls him for a test job with a gold dealer that seemed like easy money. By the end of the day, Trevor and Chef had gotten rid of the gold dealer and the bodyguard and were $50,000 richer.
Chef, will you tell these gentlemen about your first job?
Man. You could just as easily.
You tell them. I'll do a sanity check.
Trevor, the ultimate judge of sanity.
Well, it was, part of the interview process, I guess is how you'd call it. Trevor knew I could cook, wanted to see if I could handle myself. This cash for gold guy comes through town. Stood to reason he had funds. Next thing, we're burying him and his bodyguard in the junkyard. Well, most of them anyhow.
$50K. He did fine. He's better at all aspects of the job now, from killing to dismemberment.
With these two new partners in crime, Trevor created Trevor Philips Enterprises, a company specializing in arms smuggling and manufacturing and distributing methamphetamine. During this time, Trevor got in touch with Brad, who was supposedly locked up in a maximum security prison. These letters were intercepted by FIB agent Dave Norton, who had faked the death of Michael Townley and buried Brad in his place, lying to the news. Dave Norton then started responding to the letters in order to gather more information about Trevor's whereabouts and activities, supervising him from a distance.
A few years ago, a letter came to the federal prison system addressed to Brad. It wasn't signed, but it gave a P.O. box in Sandy Shores. I played the part of Brad, and we started a correspondence.
After Trevor's empire started running in 2012, he meets Wade Hebert, and for no apparent reason, he takes all of Wade's friends to the quarry, kills them, and disappears with the bodies. He then returns to Sandy Shores and tells Wade that his friends abandoned him. He then keeps Wade around as an assistant. Wade seems to have some kind of disorder, as even though it is obvious what happened, Wade remains loyal to Trevor and firmly believes in his version of the story. Despite Wade's loyalty, at one point Trevor also assaults Wade with a hockey stick, just like he did with his teacher when he was younger.
You remember when we met?
Sure! Last year. I was on the way to the gathering with Daisy Bell and Kush Chronic
And you stopped in Sandy Shores to get lit, and you met a dealer, and he looked after you when your friends had abandoned you.
That was weird, weren't it? The last time I saw them, it was with you, driving out to the quarry, and then they just disappeared.
Poof, right? mean, they were gone. Some friends, right?
At some point before 2013, Trevor's mother is arrested, but the reason is not made clear. Trevor never writes to his mother, let alone visits her. In 2013, Trevor meets the protagonist of GTA Online. After some disagreements, Trevor sees an opportunity in the protagonist and hires him for various services, from invading rival gangs to bringing down planes for Trevor Philips Industries, until at a certain point, Trevor organizes a major heist with the protagonist where he robs the Vagos, the Ballas, the Lost, basically all at once. When Trevor goes to sell the stolen goods, he realizes the buyer was an undercover agent and manages to escape. Trevor continues to expand operations and begins to think about breaking the agreements he had already made with other local drug dealers. He was already planning everything, but it wasn't time to execute yet. Until at a certain moment, when he is having sex with Ashley Butler, he sees on the news something that brought him a new fit of rage. He sees on TV a perfectly functioning, organized robbery with a man saying the same phrases that his supposed dead friend used to say. With that, he realizes that he was somehow deceived. This is enough to put the whole plan of eliminating the rivals into action, so that with all the rivals eliminated, he could go in search of Michael in Los Santos, and the rest, well, you already know. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out the story of Michael or Trevor, which is also right here next to the yellow arrow. Man, it's really awesome, totally worth it. I think Franklin's story really connects with GTA 5, so if you enjoyed all 3 stories, then get hyped and become a member of the channel. That's it guys, I really hope you liked it. If you did, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. See you in the next video.